writers wrestle with whether to show their pages to the people they write about in their books, or even whether to get waivers, which are literal permission slips from people who show up in their book. Are you an advocate of seeking permission from those you write about? And if so, what parameters do you offer writers on this subject?
That's such a great question. This is something that I think about all the time. Um, I believe that we all, and I'm not going to mangle the famous James Baldwin quote about having, all of us have one story that we tell over and over and over again, and it comes out in different forms and different shapes. And it gets bigger, it gets smaller. I believe that had I not told the story that I did in my first memoir, it would have come out elsewhere, because my family, we have a core theme. Every family, I believe has a core theme. My family's core theme is one of abandonment, and it gets passed down generation to generation to generation, like the color of our eyes or the texture of our hair. It's just our story. Um, had I known what would have happened, I would have not, probably not just spilled it into the memoir itself. I would have probably sat down with the family members and spoken to them about it before I wrote it. But again, that also begs the question: when is a secret not a secret? If you don't know it's a secret, does it still make it a secret? Right? So that there's that. Um, it's a tough question, and it's a tough thing to ask of oneself. And I think we all have to ask it. Why are we doing this? What is the motivation? And when my paperback came out a year later, I actually had a moment of thinking, well, I'm just going to take that section out. Because it's upturned the apple cart. It's hurt so many people. It's upset so many people. And so I took it out and I reread the manuscript, and it became a different story. So one of the legs of the table was what had been yanked out, and the table couldn't stand. And I knew that, just based on that, that was the reason it had to stay in the story. I also think that there are stories that we must tell that will touch other people in our families, and that's a very, very hard thing to swallow. At the same time, I've heard of people being disowned because they wrote about Aunt Dolores's roast chicken, and it turned everything upside down. So it is a moving target. Ownership, permission, those things are moving targets. We do not know, and we cannot count on what we assume is going to happen.